Hello guys, we are back with another Leetcode problem. Today is day 27 of February. Let's see the today's problem. And problem is the maximum width of binary tree. It's fallen to the category of medium, but it's highly like question. So it's a must do question for the your getting a big great foundation of the trees. So let's dive into the question. What actually question ask? So you have a given a root of a binary tree. First your duty, you have to return the maximum width of the given tree. And how they define the maximum width, let's understand this. The maximum width of a tree is the maximum width among all the levels. Okay, so that was the maximum width, and the width of one level is defined as the length between the end nodes, means the leftmost node and rightmost node which are not null, and the distance between them is called width, and where the null node between the end node are also counted into the length calculation. Okay, in middle of that, if present null nodes, it also counted for the in the width. Let's understand this with example 1. You have a given the example 1, that's given you this tree. So what's the maximum width in your case? You, if you think the maximum width is 1 2 3, then you are wrong. Why? Because if you know the this two left sub tree is going to be null, but here is mentioned uh, null, where null nodes between the end nodes are also counted. So it means this node which is null is also going to count it. So how many node you have? 5, 1, 2, and this null and 9. There is a 4 node in that case. So that's why you are going to return 4 in that case. Okay, let's understand with this question with using example 2. So you have given this tree. So what's your maximum width in that case? The maximum width in that case is 2. Why is 2? Because in that level there is present only one. There is no any rightmost element in that case. The rightmost and leftmost is this 3. So the the maximum width in that case is 1, but in this level the maximum width is 2, going to be 2, because there is no any in between, there is no any null nodes present, so that's why the answer will be 2 in that case. So that's pretty much about that question. So how can we solve that problem? If you know, if we want to find out the maximum width, what actually do the we are going to, we just uh, take the leftmost node and rightmost node in the same level and try to find out how many nodes is present in between them. That's our answer. But how can we know about that? If you remember one thing, how can we change this uh, tree into the array? So that method I'm going to use it here. If you know about this, let's say this is a index 0. If the leftmost value taking the index 2 into this value index is 0, so 2 into 0 plus 1, that was the leftmost node of this one, and the rightmost node of this is what? 2 into 0 plus 2, that will be 2. So if is present any node, so there is a 2. So that's method I'm going to use it. Let us write the code, then you understand what I'm actually trying to explain you. So what I'm going to do, I'll just um, level order traversal. I'll do only level order traversal, then try to find out the things. First and foremost, what I'm going to check out, if my root is null, in that case I'm going to return 0. No needed to check it anything. If and for level order traversal, what I'm going to make, I'll made it uh, uh, for storing the level nodes. What I'm going to, I make a queue structure, and this queue actually stored the data of node, as well as the current index. So that's why I'll just define this id to 0. This root is 0, this is 1. If it present any node, that case is 2, this is 3, this is 4, that's so on. So that's why I'll just use node. Let's write it in long for not overflow cases. And after that, what I'm going to do, I'll just push it uh, into the my queue root and 0 in that. So that's it, and I made it some variable. I made it a result in which I stored my maximum width, or if you want to write it max width, so let's write it max width for your sake of ease, max width. And I just copy it if I use it. And I needed ff is the first leftmost. Yeah, if I, for making more sense, leftmost node, leftmost and rightmost. That is I defined. No need to write it from 0. That was the leftmost and rightmost nodes. And let's traverse in the level order fashion. So if my queue is empty, what's actually mean, I'll traverse all the array and I have to return. First and foremost, what I'm going to do, uh, I try to find out how many nodes is present in my queue data structure. After knowing about that, what's my duty? I have what's actually my duty? I have to long. What's my duty? I make a mean variable in which I just try to. Why I'm making a mean variable? Let me explain this thing. After that, just write it down for your sake of ease. Because if I can't do this long mean, let's just remove this thing. It's not needed right now. But let's go with I is equal to 0 and I greater than and I plus plus. What's my duty actually? If my I is equal to 0, what is actually defined, or what is actually mean? It mean it's the leftmost element in that case. And in the let, if it is the leftmost, I have to initialize with my ff uh, not ff l to the this. And but for doing this, what's my duty? I have to make a let's make a tree node. I have to store the data about, let's name it current, and what is q dot front dot first, and long, let's name it id, and store the q dot front dot second. Okay, let me explain this thing. Actually, I needed data about the id because I have to do the computation. If I want, if I am here, I have to know about the which this element in which this is like going to line. For knowing about that, I have to multiply with id into 2, then add it 1, then I'm getting my left part. So that's why I'm just using id here. For knowing for the id left, actually getting a data of id here. And one more, if my I is reaches to the n minus 1, in that case what I'm going to do, my r is going to update it by id. So that's all about. After doing this, what's my duty actually? I have to push all others element. I'll just make the computation for l and I, leftmost subtree and rightmost subtree, and I have to add this value. I have to add this value into my queue for further proceeding. So if my current left is exist, in that case what I'm going to do, I'm going to push this element, sorry, I'm going to push this element. What I'm going to push, current left, as well as the 2 into id plus 1. Yeah, that's the things I want to tell you. And control C, control V. Here is a 2 because, and here is a right, and here is also right. Okay, let me just not make some sense. ID. That's all about that. And after pushing this, what's my actual duty? I have to check it out, this kind of work or not. So I have to update my max. Hey, my max is not max width is not 0 going to be. Yeah, it's 0. I have to check it. Is it my max is greater or my ff, sorry, r minus l plus 1 is greater? So that's the thing I'm going to do, and after that I'm returning my result. So let's submit this code, guys. Then I'm going to explain little bit more. Okay, that give me a wrong answer. Okay, I made it silly mistakes. It's a double headed arrow. Okay, I didn't declare. Okay, I didn't declare. Okay, it's my bad. Result equal to 0. And that's gonna be accepted, but yeah, I have to pop it. Yeah, I am making of silly mistakes. Okay, let's run this code, guys. Yeah, that was accepted, but there is a catch. If I submit this code, you going to encounter with runtime error. You are going to encounter with runtime error because you are just here you see sign integer overflow is multiplied 2 into this element. It not lie into the into the long. It's overflow the long also. So in that case, what I'm going to do, I've tried to make this thing into the long form, long form. For making this thing, what I'm going to do, I'll just make some changes into my ID. I'll try it in the cleverly. What I'm going to do, I have to reinitialize my ID with 0. For doing that, what I'm going to do, I made it int and name it main, and just what is going to write it, a q dot a front dot second. That's it. It's going to store the data of main, and after doing that, what's my duty? I have to subtract it by mean into it, and that's it. It's going to cleverly change my id value, reduce my id value, and it line to the category of long. So that's all about. Let's submit this code, guys. And that is accepted. So if you have any doubt, let me know in the comment section. I resolve your doubt as soon as possible. Until then, keep grinding.